Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sphere 1969, and this is actually our loft. So tonight, is actually the sharing session is about portrait photography. And the interesting part about portrait photography, a lot of people actually able to capture pictures as and when at the moment. So in fact, the moment itself is actually can be very spontaneous. But a lot of time when we say portraiture, it's about capturing the people mood. At the same time, also it can be in the olden days. It can be a structure. It can be a sculpture, sculpting, painting, and of course, in modern days, photography. So yeah, I have with me here actually is Annie, and actually, in fact, Annie is very important for today because it's actually my model. And yay! And the key thing why I choose her is actually like I shared in the earlier, it's about knowing the subject. So what you can see here, I'll zoom in immediately to show how a photo session is being conducted. Okay, so I'll go into my mood already. So basically, Annie has already been briefed, is already be aware about what she's supposed to do, and this is actually my simple side lighting. So compared to a commercial studio itself, in fact, I'm using smartphone. So it's actually the key thing. Any people from here, you should be able to get the tips and the know-how. You should be able to do it yourself. So this simple ring flash, in fact, because of the zoom, is that everybody have it. So let's go into it. Okay. So side lighting. Okay. Okay. Good. So I want Annie to actually project herself very active, and because she actually is a Pilates instructor, so the key thing actually, in fact, oh, wait, good. Okay, that's about life. See, everything is about got to be in place. Okay, good, good. Okay, so I'll capture a few shots, and because she's actually very spontaneous, good. Okay. So in portraiture itself, in fact, we actually got different angle in terms of full length portraiture, half length. So what you can see here, she is so natural. So what I like, see, imagine. Okay, okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. So we go to the next one. Have a sit down. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to look at the different angle, okay? Okay. See, she's so natural. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, so we have another close-up. So what I just saw demo immediately, you can see a full length, three-quarter length, and the key thing actually, we also go to the half body now. So as natural as she can be, we start from her body, then all the way zoom into the face. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Yes. Okay. So a lot of time we can say in the photo shoot itself, right? A lot of interaction with the subject is very important. So the key thing actually, because earlier part we already do a lot of engagement and actually know how any, so it's so natural, see? So spontaneous. Okay, good. Okay, I do a crop, the move, this angle is good. Okay, wait, Okay. Okay, so and then last one over here, I do a direct crop. So any normally when you actually tell your student, right, your training, what do you usually tell them to motivate them? Don't give up. Okay, yay. Yeah, progression. Yes, it's like yes. Okay, so in fact, this whole session, we can say as fast as what is less than 5 to 10 minutes. But because a lot of earlier preparation is already be engaged with Annie, so while she's actually doing a prepare to change for the next costume, what I'll actually share is actually, in fact, how we actually using the phone and select the pictures and actually at the same time use the different tips that actually will be sharing. So go back to the first tip itself. Okay, I will look through, I share my screen now. Okay. Okay, so what you can see here, is it my screen already? Yes? Okay. Hang on. Is it sharing? Okay. So this is my screen now, correct? So what you see is actually my direct screen that you're seeing. So from here, okay, I'll share how just now the whole sequence of 5 to 8 minutes of how the picture being shoot, how it select. So we can say, I always been using Snapseed, but of course other people got different preference, right? You actually use a different app, but I like Snapseed because it's very simple and of course it's free. So go into the pictures, I'll select. Okay, so I open up the Snapseed. So there's a few pictures that I can see from here. Okay, so to start with, okay, this is actually one of the pictures that she started the first one. So I always say, engage the subject more comfortable with whatever angle that she's very comfortable first. So this shot itself is actually very direct. She posed it nicely. The key thing actually, in fact, how do we actually crop and edit? Okay, so they can see from here. I go to the drama. You can see the drama bring out the contrast. So very fast itself, right? You can actually bring out the contrast of a sporty person by this color itself. The next thing is, we can say, go back to the tune image. So I'm going to go very fast, but later I'll go back to share with you all. So you stay tuned. Okay, everything is very fast, all within 45 minutes. The key thing is actually, I'll share you the 5 tips of what this picture is before it evolves itself. Okay, so in fact, from here, go back to the Snapseed again. We select on the top left hand corner the tune image. So tune image, that's where we actually create the brightness. So imagine this is over brightness, overexposed, underexposed. We control lighting. I want to create the mood that actually, in fact, this is a pantry. And she's able to talk about nutrition, health, and fitness at the same time. So it's very important that actually I maximize the background. Then the key thing actually add a bit of contrast. Contrast actually give people the sharpness of in fact sharpness in a way. Then the next thing actually in fact saturation. So saturation bring out some color, but because it's spotty, I don't want to make it so over saturation. It's not a colorful Sunday sunshine that you're actually showing color. It's about impact. It's about exercise. So the color should not be overpowering. So saturation I don't add in a lot, but the ambient is actually ambient actually get me the shadow that may not have it, because in the actual commercial photography I may need to have reflector. I may need to have a diffuser, but what I have it here earlier that I shared is really just a ring flash and the ambient light. So itself is already able to go through. Okay, ambient bring out. Then the key thing is, we can say the picture is almost done, crop where necessary. So we'll say less is more. So go back. Okay. Crop is actually the left bottom. Crop necessarily. So this is actually, we can say, it's a lifestyle picture of what I want to present Annie, because she's actually, in fact, very multitasking, and in fact, during the CB itself, she really also go into online to do Zoom, to do training, to do cooking at the same time. So by itself, we can say this is already more or less lastly vignette. So itself, this picture to me is actually more or less ready, and it is as simple as 5 minutes. So we can say last time we actually used dark room, then after that light room in the digital world. Then of course in the phone it's actually using Snapseed. So this is how a picture that can be so-called instantly capture, put it into the picture, edit directly. So let me go into the pointers. So I have Annie is ready. Wow. Okay, let's sit down together. Okay. So it's very interesting that see Annie transform. So that's why when I share the first pointers, okay, first pointer is actually love your subject, know your subject, And from the fact that I actually follow this Annie Facebook, do check out her Facebook. Very versatile, very happening, and the key thing actually fitness. Even she just went for what you call it, the boarding, the
stand up paddle. Yeah,
ah.
stand up paddle. And yeah, in fact, I actually had sunburn here. It's peeling.
So the same thing again, because I know her lifestyle, so that even in fact the sunburn also very particular important, because if actually before you know the subject itself, right, if the sunburn itself you don't take care, you may do a lot of post editing. But to me, actually, it should be as simple as directly you can take care of, cover it and do it. So in fact, the shoot from the first earlier photo itself, right, it's already been taken care of.
Yeah, in fact, I asked him, should I cover up because I do have sunburns, It's dual tones. Okay, you better have a jacket. It's good to have a jacket or, a shawl to cover it up. So, well, I chose my wardrobe and to make it easier and more effective.
Yeah. So from the screen, you can see the love your subject. Can I see the screen again? Yes. So the image that we actually show. Yeah. Okay.
So you need to understand your subject well, right?
Yes.
Before you start the shoot.
Yes. So that's actually one of the first pointers.
Ah.
Huh? No more sharing. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just give a technical issue. Just give us some time.
See, Annie is so natural. She's actually the.
Oh, well, because I dance before the CB. Actually, I'm a dancer and actually I do some events as well. Apart from that, I do teach in schools and I do teach in classes, corporates as well. Apart from that, then slowly when you move on to the CB, I had to move on to online classes as well. Now, slowly everything is coming back. I hope everything is better now.
In fact, that's how we actually get connected, because a lot of times actually from the understanding of the critical period that CB, if you do nothing, at the end of 6 months, 9 months, you got nothing at the outcome.
I think we have to actually evolve, actually transformation and evolve and
Yes.
actually learn.
Okay.
Without learning, we will not be here as what we are today.
Yes.
So learning from the new technology, learning from the updated devices, we are learning every day, actually.
So from what we actually see from this here from Annie itself, right? See the sportiness, the eager to learn. So I'm trying to capture certain areas that actually is really showing her. So the this picture I can say, you can see on my screen. You can say it is about how she push a student. So you can say push a student itself. The key thing, whether you project that expression. So I selected this picture. Okay. So same thing again. Okay, go back to drama. Okay, so you can say one instance the drama is quite concentrated, the contrast itself. Okay, the next thing actually go back to brightness, contrast, and beyond. Okay, lastly, because we are shooting portrait, and as much as portrait, I'm trying to portray Annie as actually very, very fitness itself. Right? I still add a bit of a softness. So the softness is where we actually talk called diffuse. So in this app itself, right, there's a portrait mode. So when you click portrait itself, right, it will soften the image look itself. So this is actually one picture that I feel that I can project her, because nowadays there's different kind of personality that I want to project. So as much as Annie is actually
I can be a demon, I can be an angel.
That's what I like. The key thing is actually, in fact, she's very versatile. So this is one picture that's already done. So the last one actually is to crop nearer. So in terms of portrait itself, right, there's always the full length, the quarter, the half body, and the full crop. So the full crop itself, okay. Good.
Yeah, it's trying to select the best photo out of it to show and share with you guys, Yeah.
Okay. I think the earlier that I have is actually, in fact, we can say is almost the crop that I need. But the key thing actually good that actually, in fact, the pose that we have, as much as I can crop. Okay.
I think you're trying to select a nice one
Yes,
with the proper
yes,
background and overall with the subject
yes,
balanced.
yes,
That's what you're trying to do.
yes. So they can see on my screen actually how it's actually being
Balance
selected,
it up,
balancing
right?
out. Yeah.
Yeah, not too much of my face, not too much of me, and not too much of the back. Balance.
So crop is actually is also pretty important in terms of getting the right pictures itself. So this actually in fact is
It's actually a very powerful tool, you know, looking at the
yeah.
way how you actually do. Yeah.
So in fact this is actually we can say it completed the quick overview of actually how a portraiture can be taken from a full view in the same background. So to go into the tips itself, right? Do you able to see the picture that I shared, the pointers one? Yeah. Okay. So the based on the timing itself, right? In fact,
Really, really fast.
really very
Really
fast.
fast. Like,
Yeah.
chop, 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 and that's it, and we're done.
Yes. So in fact, I know the subject is important. So I think the screen that you can see from the slide later I'll be sharing 5 pointers. The takeaway actually these 5 pointers. So besides seeing how Annie are actually able to post and interact and also know about lifestyle, key thing actually the pointers. Okay, the first pointers that I share in fact is actually know the subject, love the subject. So you can see here actually previously when I shot this couple, it's actually they graduated from SMU, SIM. And the key thing actually we do this show in the library itself. So the key, you know the subject, you're able to bring out the substance. Okay, the next picture. And in fact, she's actually a biker, and at the later part of her life, then she realized that I'll start learning motorbike. So her passion is actually if I can shoot something to share about what she's actually into it now. That's how this picture is being set up.
I believe there's always a story behind a picture.
Yes, precisely. So in every picture, we are bringing a story. That's why you learn the subject, then you bring out the subject story behind it. Okay, this one is actually, in fact, is as because she's actually a Toastmaster person, and she's actually very family yet introvert yet extrovert at the same time. So I presented this thing to her pictures that show her can be as formal. That's how this picture with simple background, black color background to project to her. Okay, this actually in fact was a very interesting picture. Was he's a property agent, and this picture was taken in the toilet. Okay,
Does
in
it
the
look
toilet,
like it?
yeah, in the toilet in Pasir Ris. So the time was actually in fact we are trying to do a quick shot of a contest. So the key thing he able to actually engage and bring two costume. The next thing is actually wear a backdrop. So the key thing you will know the subject. The key thing I just want to bring out his confidence so that whether people go for house hunting, they know this is the person to look out for, and that's how I projected using a toilet wall house.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you don't mention it, we wouldn't know actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Then of course, this one is also very interesting. This bunch of ladies were so passionate. They are dancers, so they started from pole dancing, and the key they wanted to actually create very lively lifestyle and what they are together at the same time. So I projected this actually in the back street in Serangoon Road.
Right,
So
very bright and
yeah, it's
colourful.
supposed to shoot in the cafe. That I feel like hey, let's hunt the place. So the key thing know the subject, go to the direction. This is the backdrop. So the next key point that I'm trying to share is the backdrop. So you can see the background, the yellow color background is as simple as loud. But the subject is actually are the one that are looking at it. So some can be looking at the camera, some without. So when you say corporate, not a portrait itself, it can be individual portrait, it can be a corporate portrait, it can be a group and family portrait. So for this picture itself, the simple to projection itself is really
It's very, very bright, vibrant, you know. It
Yes.
gives out the life of a vibrant of these ladies here.
Yes.
Seriously, yeah.
Yep. So in fact, for any one of us, right, as much as we looking at small detail. So when you shoot for your girlfriend, so a lot of friends were saying, hey, actually I want to shoot for pictures itself, right? But my girlfriend asked me to shoot this thing, but I don't know how. So the kidding, if you know first thing, you know your girlfriend well, right? Maybe she love to eat or love to exercise or love whatever thing, you know her well. Second thing, actually, you may also know her anger. So just now, yeah, you were to look at the background. I actually pointed to Annie. We already briefed her already. Each of us actually got 9 quadrants. Okay, 9 quadrant. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, wait, wait. So just now when I shoot that time, I already directed her. I say, okay, starting from this quadrant, left. So left, but she's looking at the camera. So this kind of tilting, a lot of time you give people the very gentle look, okay, like that. But if you very stern, very firm, you don't tilt your head. So 9 quadrant to pray with. So actually, then I point to Annie, look down. Then she look at, see, different angle. You can actually start discovering a person best angle. Then of course we can say right again. Look at the camera. Look down again. Yeah, then look at center. Even center itself, right? The last quadrant can also look down. So you can be able to project the subject. So same thing a lot of time when our girlfriend or even our friends or even any people that wanted to help us as a stranger to take a picture, look at the angle. You can even direct to them so that the single picture within the few minutes, a second, can be captured in the right angle. Okay,
I
angle.
like to actually always like to add on my hands to do a little bit of this, you know.
Yes.
It's like woo, it's like
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
angle.
So in fact, the next thing that you actually after the background, that go back to the pointers again. Okay, this okay background. The next picture. This is actually, in fact, the background was taken in a HDB during the blue hours, and behind is all the blocks. So in fact, earlier I have a picture that below me I'm actually wearing a boxer.
Nobody can tell.
Nobody can tell, but because of the fact that we are cropping and using the background, so focus is actually on myself, the subject, and the background is actually not too distracting, but at the end of the day, the blue hours. Okay, so this is actually taking care of the background. The next one we're talking about is actually playing with background and lighting. So this actually, in fact, is an ambient light. So it's a very happy family. In fact, it's my brother and my nephew and my sister-in-law. So it's very vibrant and actually it was taken in a football field.
Right, a
So
happy family picture.
yeah,
It
and in
projects
fact,
that out.
the lighting was actually shoot from the top and the ambient light itself. But I bring out the grass, the greenery, and also, of course the t-shirt stand out, the red color t-shirt. And the most important, because I know the subject, I bring out the vibrancy and the cheerfulness of the moment. That's why this picture was being taken in that moment. And in fact, it's as fast as all, just how I shoot it's less than 5 minutes. Okay, so the next one, yeah, that's all. Okay, okay. So this one is actually very interesting. So we can say the last model. So we can say the first one, like I shared with Annie earlier, know the subject. So after knowing her, I know that she's a fitness instructor, Pilates, and she's multi-talented. Project what she is. Secondly, actually background. Then the next thing is actually lighting. The last one is what you see from this picture is actually posing. So this picture is a combination of everything,
Yeah.
which is what just now the editing of picture of Annie is about composition. But because now we're actually working in a indoor area, so as much as we can maximize the background, the Annie picture turn out is very focused about her and a bit of pantry look and feel. That's actually a healthy side. But this picture that you can see on the screen now is actually it's a landscape. She's a work in the library, not a librarian, but she work in a library. So the key thing, she's also a dancer, and the key thing, she's also very sporty, and she loves city life. So to me, actually, city life is the background. The key thing, the next thing actually, in fact, is about her post and what she actually able to
Project it out. I
project
think
herself.
you actually had captured everything in one picture, the whole story, everything in one picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's where we able to so called in terms of portraiture itself, right, is to tell a story. So when you say it tell a story, it's like what any is like this chemistry is like immediately.
Actually, I
Uh,
just got to know him this
yes,
afternoon.
in fact, it's this
Seriously.
afternoon, and because I've actually read about her, look at the Facebook, but the key thing is only just now in the afternoon time. The key thing is because of the understanding, able to project what is about her, similar to this picture. This picture when I actually went to see met this my client in a way, it's only that very day that she decided to wear what costume. Then I actually already set the location. Then we start taking this picture. So that's about portraiture. Okay, now the next thing actually, in fact, I want to show Annie the feminine side. Yes, yes. In fact, you follow her Facebook, you feel that other feminine side of her that a lot of people may say, hey, never know. But you look at the picture, wow, it can be so stunning. So same thing again, we are using the environment over here. And this love environment, in fact, if those actually just came into the Facebook now, Arcsphere, arc.sphere.1969. Okay, this is actually our loft area where we do a lot of engagement. So of course, they can say you learn cooking, you learn language, but again, today we are maximizing this area to do and to show the feminine side of Annie. Okay, so we'll move to the next direction, this area. Okay, so I'll get the camera to follow through. Get my light.
I'm gonna put on my mic down.
Yep. Here. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a very nice corner, which I always like the fact that whether is it very casual, yet can also show the. Okay. Annie, you can sit over here, this area. Okay, start from this corner first. So same thing again. This whole session is actually, in fact, is how the photo can be taken directly using the ambient light. Oops. Okay. All right. Yes. See, everything live, everything got to be very spontaneous. Live, actually, you need a team also. You work alone, possible, but have a team, you feel end of the day, and also the right partner. Okay, so, okay, good. Okay, so from this angle itself, right? Okay, one thing, I'll switch to my screen now. Okay, maybe I'll do the shoot first. Okay, from here. Okay. Okay. A gentle smile, a bit more, yes. Show your confidence. Okay. Okay. See, the good thing is actually about Annie is if you know the subject about itself, he's self-directing. But as a photographer itself, right, that's where you point the direction. You know where to look. And the key thing actually, what the hand gesture also play a part. So as much as, so a lot of time we can say the subject can be very fun, but a lot of time if you want to project some feminine, this signal may not be what we want to project now, but that's the personality. But I want to show you whatever. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Ah, okay. So this is a sweet look. Yeah. Okay, look down. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, I do a close up. Okay, any do a bit more. Okay, one thing about any features actually is slightly uh yes, I'll try to shoot even more the jawline. Yes. You look at the camera. Okay. Okay. Later I'll show you one picture that actually, in fact, you've not taken care of. These are the things that actually will happen. Good. Okay, lastly, Annie, you can just sit over here, hold this arm this way. Huh? Okay, maybe the hair. Yep. Okay. Okay. This way. Okay, relax again. Yeah, look down. Yes, good. Okay, another one is actually just your hand, the gesture. Yep. Pull it. Yep. Yeah, okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, sometimes actually, in fact, the photography itself is actually the second click of this expression. Although it may pose, it's the second one that she's more relaxed. That's where we capture. Okay, show us, show more teeth. Okay, can. Okay, so more or less, in fact, this whole session is as simple as we are able to project a feminine side. So, let's take a seat here, since the camera is here. Okay, so from the sequence of things that we are actually looking at. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, what you can see earlier from the fitness of what Annie is dressing to wearing earlier. Now, actually, in fact, accessories. So, accessories also play a part. The key thing is actually you shouldn't be overpowering that actually lost the focus. So, the subject is still the face, and in fact, the eyes is also play a part. Okay. Let's zoom in. Okay. I'll share my screen now. So what you see will be actually, in fact, from my phone. Okay. Yeah, go to switch. Okay. Okay. This actually even, yeah. Okay, I'm selecting the pictures. In fact, because she's very active earlier, and the key thing actually, in fact, is about looking at the detail at the same time. Okay, I'm trying to select now. Okay, this is the one that actually, in fact, I was talking about. It's like small detail. So look at the pictures, right? The above her head. In fact, there's a decoration. So in fact, this decoration itself, right, can be distracting. So imagine if we don't take care itself, right, it look like some
Grown on my on my head,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So as a photographer itself, or any people that are wanted to take a person itself, small details taken care of at the same time. Okay. So good thing I move. So the key thing is actually, in fact, okay. Okay, see, there's a few animation of what she is. Okay, but I still want to select one is actually more feminine of her. Okay. Okay. Feminine? Not so right. Not yet right. Yeah,
Still
yeah.
not there yet.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, I think this picture will be quite comfortable to shoot. Okay, but because the kidding, we are trying to demo the fact that it can be as fast because the fact that we are working within this area. Okay, so next thing is actually go back to Snapseed. Okay, Snapseed itself. Okay, now you're looking at the screen on my screen now. Okay, there's a last edit as well as portrait. So to speed up, I can straight away put portrait. So it soften the pictures. In fact, you actually bring out the subject. Okay? And earlier, because of the fact that are using this live focus, in a lot of time when we actually use iPhone, they got this portrait mode. But in a Samsung or Android phone itself, right, you may not have this portrait mode. So what we have actually, in fact, we got this live focus. So live focus, okay, I go back to before the image. This is how live focus, you can see from here. So live focus is actually able to, okay, I show a quick one. Okay, so from here, ah, wait, okay. So live focus actually is able to blur the background. See, you can see it's quite auto. It's able to blur. Okay. So another one again. Tilt down a bit this way. Ah, okay. Can let me shoot this angle down. Okay. Okay, see, you actually blur itself. Yeah. Okay, view again. Okay. So this is actually live focus. So live focus itself is straight away you blur the effect. Okay. So go back to the snapseed. Just now the picture that I just show halfway. Oops.
I'm actually just downloaded Snapseed, but I haven't really played with it yet.
Yes, you like it, you like it. Because nowadays it's actually very easy to use and it's actually in fact okay, this picture, just now that I shared earlier. Snapseed, portrait. So the key thing, this is actually compared to 美图秀秀 itself. Sometimes you may feel that some 美图秀秀, the picture turn out really not the same person. Actually, either the picture, the eyes over too big, exaggerated, or the key thing actually the picture looks too plasticky. But what I want to share about Annie is actually, in fact, it's got to be natural and it got to be family. So the skin tone got to still maintain. So what actually over here itself, even the portrait mode itself, right, it's still very soft. See, there's some lines, let's say the eyes, there's still some lines. But again, it's not so fake that it's so plastic, like surgery picture. So you can see from here, okay? Next thing is actually, in fact, I'll go back to view image, contrast, saturation, ambient. So ambient, I can see from here, right? Ambient, yeah, the color.
Better, so
Yeah,
rich now.
yeah. So the key thing actually, in fact, if we want to showcase the brightness, the shadow a little bit and the background, right, you can push it higher. But always we say moderate. Okay, so from here, you can see Annie is actually suddenly coming out. You know the color
Popping out.
coming out. Yeah. Okay, so this actually, in fact, uh, almost there, but I always feel that less is more. So we always say same thing again. Lastly, it's about one third rule. So one third rule actually, in fact, you look at this picture, you always see the lines on the screen. So any eyes are actually now it's above the this white color line on top. So to push it higher, so this is one third rule. So any eyes actually meet the top portion of the first quadrant. So to make it one third rule again, you actually can move to one
I'm
side.
actually learning as well.
Yeah. So every day we are learning new things and again, yes, yes. So from here, less is more. Attention is actually the eye. So the eye is the soul of a person. So it's not a portraiture itself. As much as you can put sunglasses, or you can look at another direction, eye contact is still the most important. So why I selected this picture out of so many is because eye contact is there. The key thing actually, in fact, expression is actually not too overpowering and the feminine part. So from here, vignette a bit. So vignette is actually we always say it's like in the movie, got four corners actually darker, so that the movie subject is on focus. So a lot those people that already been watching the previous food photography, and the earlier the hairstyling, the same thing again. If I use Snapseed, a lot of time I will end it with the vignette. So vignette again, don't overpowering. So imagine overpowering is too much. The key thing, control that it can be as natural that end of the day, spotlight is on the model, spotlight is on Annie. So the key thing is just a bit more. And because I use live focus, I don't need to use lens blur. So although the function here there's a lens blur, okay, this lens blur to go back to lens blur, you can blur the subject more, background more. Okay, so this is actually how Annie without distraction of the background. Yet, because we are shooting this interior with the ambient, so I also don't want to blur until everything is become all
Everything
become
all
all
blurred
blur.
together.
Yeah, then it defeats the purpose of why we are shooting this location. So the key thing is, see, if over is actually too much. So the key thing is just a bit of when we use phone itself, right, we don't have aperture. Most of the time, most of our phone don't have this aperture. But if you know ISDSLR, a lot of time f2.8, f1.1.2 can be actually good for actually bring out the subject.
Subject, right?
Background is actually all blur. So that's where portrait is always subject is sharp, behind is blur. So from here, more or less we are done. And the key thing is actually, in fact, we are ready to even set this to. Okay, go back to the same thing again. Okay, so done. So I can say it's safe. Be done. Okay. Okay. So that's about the whole session that we were sharing. Okay. So thanks to Annie again.
Thanks for having me here
Yes,
too.
in fact, it's the chemistry that we actually created. In fact, there's a lot other opportunity that we can learn from each other. Imagine, I love exercise, but she teaches Pilates, and she also do a lot of different activities. Meanwhile, what are the things that you do?
I actually also teach piloxing as well.
Pilates.
Piloxing, and
Ah.
yeah, and if you let's say if you like music with Pilates, you can try pop Pilates.
So imagine if I know more of this itself, right? Next time I will shoot her. In fact, the next session actually is next week. So in fact, next session actually I will be doing outdoor photography, and that one actually we are talking about a lot of pictures you see in the Instagram. It's so nice. Can we recreate it? So to me actually, I also like outdoor. So the key thing actually, if I know any even more, the next thing actually, if I were to bring a model, so you bring a model again, you look at a picture that's so nice. Can you recreate? So that's where next week Tuesday, that's where I plan to actually go to Arrow Street. So location itself is Arrow Street.
So artistic at Arrow Street,
Yeah,
ah.
yeah. So in Singapore context, you can see Arrow Street is actually in fact very vibrant. Yet there's a mosque over there. The holiness is there. But the key thing is the activity, the vibrancy, the wall itself, a lot of things that we can capture from there. So the key thing at the same time, while this period of these 5 pointers, I'll post on the picture of later how before and after pictures of Annie. At the same time, the 5 steps. So the 5 steps, just to recap, before we move, okay? So recap. First one is actually, in fact, we're talking about love the subject. So luckily, I love Annie. I understand it, and because of social media itself, if you want to whether it's shoot for your friend or let's say a gathering or your girlfriend, of course you know even better. But if not, social media just go through, you understand the person better in terms of how you projected a lifestyle. The next thing actually, in fact, you look at is the background. So background, if you want to position any, the next picture you want to shoot her next time is in the gym or in the Pilates. Then it's actually, we talk about is ambient photography. So the key thing is actually, in fact, after background, then the key thing is about lighting. So lighting, you'll play one source of lighting or ambient light. Lastly, pose. So this 5 pointer itself, right, you make us able to use a phone that able to actually capture the subject and able to capture in a way that straight away edit and can post Instagram. So really must thanks to Annie again and thanks to everybody watching. Annie, got anything to share?
Well, never stop learning. Every
Yes.
day, yeah, we
Yes.
learn something new. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so never stop learning. And after this, enjoy the moment. And today is only Tuesday, so more days to learn and enjoy. So we see you next time. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.